I feel like I cracked Nintendo's code, or at least just figured out what their game plan is for this year. A year that's built off the legacy of its predecessors in order to build a foundation to a great future. Today I want to look into Nintendo's Direct scheduled for this month, June. While I won't look into specifically when I think the Direct can be Wednesday the 19th, I want to actually predict the games in question here. Most people predict that there won't be much. At this point, every Nintendo game that's been in development for over a year or two is more than likely going to be a next-gen game. And I don't expect a lot of new games either, but I do expect a lot of something we've already been seeing, that being ports and remasters. Firstly, let me try and get everyone to see this from my perspective. We knew Nintendo was originally planning on having the Switch's successor to release in late 2024, but last minute it was delayed internally to early 2025 to give the developers more time to make games. A smart move on their part. But because of how last minute this seemed, Nintendo had a Direct plan for February, not just a partner showcase. I'd go as far to say as that they delayed all the first party announcements from that February Direct into the June Direct, because a potential Switch successor showcase would have been in late spring or summer, but is now going to be in the fall. But the thing is, I don't think the actual games for the rest of the year got pushed back, only their announcements. Think about it. Look at Mario Day. It was so strange. Miyamoto and Chris Meledandri talked about the Mario movie sequel, and then it just ended. Miyamoto specifically says that's all, but after he says that, the video abruptly shows the release dates for both Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So what I think is Nintendo likely crammed in the release dates of both of those games when they were originally supposed to be present in the February Direct. Miyamoto couldn't give any proper clarification if it was the end of the presentation or not, because the pre-recorded green screen videos with Miyamoto were likely recorded before the Switch 2 alongside the February Direct got delayed. Or maybe I'm just looking into things too deeply here. So this likely means that there's games coming out sooner than anticipated because the February Direct didn't happen. And honestly, I'm expecting a game to be released as soon as July because of this. I'm expecting one main game, a big one at that. This sounds a bit stupid. The Switch is at the end of its lifespan, why would they have another major game? But I think they could pull one of two cards here. One, a cross-gen 3D Mario game, or two, a cross-gen Donkey Kong game. I'm 100% confident we're getting both within the next 2 years, whether it be exclusive to the Switch 2 or not. And it genuinely would not make sense to have an entire theme park based on a character that hasn't had an original game in over a decade. I am positive we are getting a new DK game sooner than later, and it's likely being developed by the 3D Mario team because of those rumors from a while back. 3D Mario is just common sense. It's likely been done for a while now unless they made a DK game first, but I'm not sure which one I think they would make cross-gen. But again, why would they announce a big game now of all times, at the end of the Switch's lifespan? Remember, Nintendo still wants to be selling a lot of original Switches for a while now, past the successor's launch. Nintendo YouTuber Arlo did a really good video predicting Nintendo's strategy in terms of this stuff that I'll link in the description. And while I don't think they'll make every major first-party title cross-gen for the first 2 years, I think a decent amount of them could be, including a new 3D Mario or a Donkey Kong game. I'm pretty split on deciding which one, and I know it's weird to announce it in the last year of the Switch, but I think we'll get a cross-gen Donkey Kong game as the last announcement in the Direct, but we might not know it's cross-gen until likely the fall presentation. That's also the thing with Metroid Prime 4. It's definitely a cross-gen game at this point, and it's likely almost finished. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole reason they haven't shown it off is because it's cross-gen. I'm going to predict we'll see a short teaser, followed by confirmation that we'll learn more about it later in the year, but we'll also get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 coming later in the month. They won't be full remakes obviously, but simple HD upscalings with updated controls for $40 each. Something we already know is Mario Party. This is practically confirmed. Midori, the Atlas/Sega/Nintendo leaker, already revealed that there's an ND Cube game with the codename Banquet, and Mario Party Superstars code was Buffet. And honestly, I think it'll be a Superstars sequel. It's cheap, easy, and a lot of people loved Superstars, with people wanting generally just more boards. It'd be easy money. I'm predicting this will be released around fall, probably October as one of the holiday titles for this year. Something else I think we'll finally get is a Fire Emblem remake, likely of Genealogy. We know Engage was actually developed alongside Three Houses, and it was done for a while. Intelligent Systems really got far ahead in terms of Fire Emblem games, and I think we're going to be getting the remake of Genealogy, followed by the next mainline game, probably with a lot more of Three Houses influence in it, in 2025 or 2026. I'm predicting we'll get this remake in September. Next, I think we'll likely get one of the following: either a Star Fox Assault remaster, or an F-Zero GX remaster. It's possible we get both, and I'm positive something in both respective series are in development, but Nintendo is likely saving one for Switch 2. Remember again, Nintendo is still trying to capitalize off of the Switch's success and try and get new people into their smaller IPs and make them big IPs. If I had to lean towards one, I'll probably say F-Zero GX Remastered, and I'm predicting it will be released soon, likely in July. Lastly, I think we'll be seeing a Zelda of some kind. I'm leaning towards Twilight Princess for November specifically. It feels almost guaranteed to have a 3D Zelda game remastered. We probably won't have 2 Mario holiday titles this year, and there's no shot we'll get a Pokemon one, but Zelda is another great holiday title choice, so I could see Mario Party and a Twilight Princess remaster carrying the holiday season. I feel like we could also see Wind Waker HD alongside it, but I feel like Nintendo would unfortunately gatekeep it. That's about it for all major first-party announcements. We'll have Metroid Prime 2 and 3 HD later in the month, F-Zero GX Remastered in July, Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War Remake in September, and new Mario Party in October, Twilight Princess HD in November, and lastly the teaser for a new DK game coming out in 2025. Again, we also could get a Star Fox Assault remaster, but I'm trying to keep it safe. Although I do realize that literally none of this will likely be correct. I do want to clarify this as much as possible because I know a lot of people will comment it, but I'm predicting so many games, even though most of them are just remasters, because of looking at how Nintendo is forecasting their physical year to go and knowing the fact that some of these announcements were likely supposed to be in a February Direct, but were delayed to a June Direct due to the Switch 2's delay. In terms of my actual wish list, obviously I want Mario & Luigi. I would love a Dream Team HD or really anything related to the series, and while I'll say the chances are higher, I don't think it's likely that we're going to be seeing anything right now. I'd love to be wrong though. Outside of Mario & Luigi, I generally don't really want much else. I would like Tomodachi Life, and I would have actually predicted it, but Grezzo seems to be working on another project. Back in 2021, they were hiring for a medieval and stylish game, but their only game since then was an Apple Arcade exclusive called Jet Dragon, which isn't exactly medieval, suggesting that the said medieval game is still in development. It's also very possible we could be getting a new 2D Zelda, and that could be Grezzo's next game, so I was thinking about predicting that, but it seems like it'd be a bit too much for this year, and I think Nintendo would rather do Twilight Princess. We're not seeing any new 3D Zelda for a long time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they'd rather save a 2D Zelda for 2025 or 2026. I'll just say that I think if we don't get Twilight Princess, we are definitely seeing a new 2D Zelda. It's just that I think Twilight Princess is more likely. Same scenario with F-Zero GX and Star Fox Assault. I'm really pleased with the Switch's massive library, and I think this year will only strengthen it, even if this year is a lot of remasters. But remember, even if this Direct is lackluster, which it likely will be, just think about how amazing 2025 will be. It will genuinely be one of the best years for Nintendo in a long time. With the amount of games they're likely saving for the Switch 2 growing more and more, I'm sure it will be an even better launch year than the original Switches itself. Also, for a bit more clarification on the Direct date, Nintendo's been clearly avoiding other competitors' presentations. Look at the February Partner Showcase. It was reportedly delayed a week due to the Xbox presentation, and generally all post-E3 Directs have avoided Summer Games Fest time. Because of this, and because Directs are generally Wednesdays, I'm predicting the third week on a Wednesday. It gives Nintendo a lot of space from Summer Games Fest and everyone else's presentations from the beginning of the month, but it also still gives breather room for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, so it isn't completely overshadowed later in the month. So I'm predicting Wednesday the 19th of this month, but it could also be Tuesday the 18th or Thursday the 20th. I just think Wednesday is more likely. That's all for today. I'm looking forward to seeing the Direct, and I hope you all are also. See ya.